So
we need to get her hooked up with Ezra Miller. Ooh, that would be a fire album.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
He'd probably duet with her on a few of those tracks.
Probably sing with his butthole or something stupid like that. I had to do it right while you were taking a drink, too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Hello and welcome to episode 195 of the Field of Geeks podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Dr. Billy.
I'm an a-hole.
Speaking of a-holes, Mitch is back.
Hey, Mitch.
It's been a while. Yeah, so this is a Halloween-themed episode. As you can see, we got Grimace from last episode making his appearance. He's worth $20,000 now.
Oh, wait.
So
It's a butt plug Grimace, right?
Yeah.
sure. No, not
Fluoride Grimace.
Well, that's
Yeah, the drunken Grimace.
right.
Yeah.
It's we had fun talking about him last time. So
Yeah.
Bill, you didn't get the rest of the toys though, did you?
I did not, no.
See, you could have been a millionaire by now.
I didn't go back. I should
So
have, man.
what was the adult
So it was
Happy Meal?
So basically, it's like either a Big Mac or a 10-piece McNugget value meal, like in a box.
Gotcha.
And then they had like
Big
one
box.
or 4 little toys in it.
Oh, okay.
But the toys
Sure,
now
sure.
have become so popular that you can't get them from McDonald's anymore. Like you can still get the Happy Meals, but they don't have the.
Oh, wow.
They're all out of the toys. So like now people are selling these on eBay for like $50.
Whoa.
Yeah.
After this episode, check out last episode. We
gonna be
talked
doing
all
a
about
giveaway.
it. We zoomed in. It was great. Yeah.
Quick
a giveaway?
question, though. Well, why would a 10-piece chicken nugget be an adult meal? I can't. I have to have 20.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
I mean, I'm not.
It wasn't
I'm not by
enough
any
food,
means
I don't
a
think.
Skinny guy, but
Yeah.
But 20 seems more appropriate.
Was there even a large fry in there?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
Well, it was like medium, I think. I
Okay.
don't know.
Got a drink though, so.
Yeah, there's adult size
And a
drink.
toy. Come on,
Yeah.
guys. This is awesome. Yeah, and they got the buckets out. We talked about that last time as well. So
I've not gone to get my bucket yet.
they have an orange one up there by me.
need to do that.
But they should get more. I think they just started. So.
Yeah.
So I had my first McGangbang, which is
Yes.
a quarter pounder or a double, a McDouble, and
Yeah.
then you get the McChicken.
Jesus.
You
And
put
you
it
put
in
them
between
together.
them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my God, they're good.
Really?
They
They are. They're legit.
pretty good.
I mean, they're not. It's going to be cheaper than going and buying a Big Mac to do it.
Sadly, yeah.
We were talking about that last time too, about like
Yeah.
the hack menu or whatever they had, like the
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
They had like the fillet of fish on like all these. They had a sandwich that had like all of them. It was like,
The fillet of fish. I've grown up. I like the fillet of fish.
Really?
I don't know what's in it.
I do
don't really
like it.
care.
It's the hot dog of fish.
especially I mean, I do this anyway, but especially around Lent
Yeah.
times, like you go
yeah.
there and like you can get 2 of them for like $1 or something.
Oh, wow.
Like that. Like
Oh, there
they're
you
always
go.
super
Nice.
cheap during that time.
Well, this
so.
show is sponsored by McDonald's. So,
and butt plug Grimace.
ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Loving it. Thanks to Bill. Gave us this nice, well, speaking of diabetes, you got this nice candy assortment here.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have the DC themed candy cigarette. Well, can't call them that anymore.
Candy sticks.
Candy sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still all know what they're supposed to be. We got Reese's, of course, because why would you get any other candy for Halloween?
Right.
We got the white chocolate Kit Kats. Might be a
Those
little.
are so much better. I'm
They
sorry.
are. They are.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've had them.
Speaking of Kit Kats, have you tried the blueberry muffin ones?
No.
My wife
Oh
likes
my
them.
god, those are so. Anyway,
Good?
So
we'll
They're bad
do-
or good?
They're so good.
Okay. That's what
They're
my wife
so
said.
good.
But to me, I'm like, I just want a blueberry muffin if I'm going to eat, like,
Right.
I don't know.
you realize that Kit Kat.
Call me old fashioned.
So-
In fact, give me an old fashioned.
The way Kit Kats are made is that it obviously you know what they are on the inside, right? But
Yeah.
whatever they have left over, they basically grind up, and that becomes the goo in between the wafers.
Yeah.
So basically, when they first started doing this, I mean, you're talking about goo that goes all the way back to the inception of a Kit Kat.
Yeah.
It could still be there.
when they had cocaine in them, right?
Yeah, like active
I don't
yeast
know.
and all that
Just
stuff.
kidding.
You know, like the friendship bread, where you,
Right.
You know,
Right.
So, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So much history of these candies. We're gonna get into it later.
Very much so.
Because I got some history to drop or some factoids to drop.
Ooh.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, we got a lot of things planned today, Halloween themed. So they'll be in and out of the show as we go. And I hope you like it. We've been having a lot of fun. So yeah, with that said, we got a lot of cool topics to talk about on top of that. So yeah, if you want to take it away, Mitch, with our first.
Oh, Harrison Ford, yes, and Short Round.
Yes.
Let's see. So I think they've been friends for a long time, but there is a picture. I don't know. Are you going to actually post it? But
I can. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here, and I don't mean to sneeze. So the quote goes, "As I get closer, he turns and points his finger at me, and he has that classic, famous, grumpy Harrison Ford look. I go, oh my gosh, he probably thinks I'm a fan, and he's going to tell me not to come near him. But he looks and points at me and says, are you Short Round? Immediately, I transported back to 1984 when I was a little kid and said, yes, Indy. And he said, come here, and gave me a big hug. So, you know, it's nice to see Harrison Ford get back into some of those classic movies that we've seen him in.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a period in the 90s and the early 2000s where he kind of stepped away a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, he got married and all that good stuff. He's still married. That's all great and all that. But, you know, he did some more adult-themed thrillers.
Yeah, and he did come back to Indy, but we kind of like to forget about that.
Yeah, well, you know, you can't really say that. It was nice to see.
It had its moments.
It did.
Yeah.
You know, swinging in the trees was kind of a dud.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like they're kind of going back to some of the things that worked with the original Indy.
Yeah.
So not relying heavily on CGI, more of like special effects.
Yeah. It's a nice final movie for him, but unfortunately, I don't think Short Round's going to be in it.
No.
He has kind of risen up to fame recently once again for doing the everything.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes, I actually saw that movie. It was a really good movie, very touching story. He's amazing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like. He's going to be in Loki season 2. So unfortunately, I think it was by the time he got on the rise again, they already filmed Indy 4. So I would have loved to have him return. But yeah, at least I had this.
At least we got Sala.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to get a lot of cool things. I'm really looking forward to it. I heard there's like a nice flashback scene. They used some good CG on Harrison Ford. And I think it ties into the Nazi storyline with the... I'm guessing this takes place probably 70s by this time, because 60s was the last time, or was it the 50s?
50s.
Okay, so it's probably the 60s sometime, I'm guessing.
So they said basically the last movie was supposed to be like the UFO era.
Yeah, which was kind of clever, but it just, some of the choices were not the best. But,
well, and it seems like Indy does his best when he's fighting Nazis.
Right.
Which, you know, and I
which
know...
is kind of like I like them to pass a baton, but Chris Pratt said he's not going to do that now. Even if it was on the table, like fans want him to be Indy because that cool fan art.
Yeah.
He's like, Harrison Ford pretty much said, I'm Indiana Jones. So it didn't really get a blessing.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It is what it is.
Why wouldn't he have another kid? I mean...
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Make it another kid for sure. But... yeah, no, that was a nice, touching reunion story, and I think he said in it they hadn't seen each other for a while, so he was nervous because like he said, he didn't know if Harrison Ford would recognize him. He's very different looking now. I mean, he's a man, so he's different than that kid. But yeah, that was a cool character, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe they will try to throw him in like a reshoot. I don't know. Just like a little quick homage.
Still pining for a Goonies remake, or not just a Goonies 2.
Last I knew, it's
like
gonna
a reunion kind of thing.
They were gonna do a TV show instead with the kids, but shit, they're so old now. It's like it's almost gonna be their grandkids.
it would be kind of cool if they did like the same concept with It.
Yes.
We're like, the first one's about them being kids. The second one's about them like being, however many years later. They're grown up. They have kids of their own. Mm-hmm. They have to come together to like solve some mystery or something.
It seemed like it was getting close about 10 years ago. And Richard Donner's no longer with us. but they could still obviously.
Well, in 14, they were talking about trying to scout filming locations when I was over in Oregon. And that was what I heard, and then nothing actually came of it. And
that's the thing when regimes change in studios, like we'll get into it. I will review Black Adam spoiler free, but. Everyone out there should know the big spoiler, which is Henry Cavill is back as Superman. He makes an appearance. That was spoiled for everybody before the movie even came out. But supposedly the old regime at Warner Brothers did not want Cavill back. And it was actually The Rock putting his foot down about it because he has the same agent as Cavill does, which is The Rock's ex-wife. So it was The Rock and the new regime that got Cavill back.
Well, and it sounds like Warner Brothers is doing a lot of shakeup already. I mean, that one
they are, but I think it's in a good way. Like I think they're trying to stop cheapening their brand on HBO Max by having all these movies go out directly to it, which is why Batgirl kind of got got canceled.
Yeah, and I don't really know the right answer to this either. It sounds like DC, well, when they first tried to do this, it was trying to be a copycat of Marvel instead of just being its own thing. DC's darker.
They chased the money, and when they didn't get the return profits, they panicked and they changed.
Well, and how do you call an $80 million movie a flop? It made more than it cost to make, but yet they considered it a flop.
It's because of marketing. That's the bad thing. Is it's got to make like twice or 3 times as much as it costs to make the money. They got to make that back because the marketing, they use like the same budget. So man, BVS was like a $200 million movie probably.
Yeah. So
they probably spent like maybe $600 million total, and you're not including reshoots, which later was the Justice League screw up. That costs a lot more, and obviously you're not going to get a return on profit.
And Warner Brothers still admit that they don't like the Justice League movie. I mean, they need to stop saying things. They just need to let it be.
Yeah.
And
well, if it wasn't for The Rock, we wouldn't get Cavill back. I don't think so.
No, and you know, the Rotten Tomato or whatever, they're saying it's like 30%. It's like a trashy movie.
Fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
Audience score is showing 90. I mean, they're showing it a certified fresh, which is why I think, we need to stop paying attention to whatever these...
and most of these critics that, if you look at like...
you want a critic, go to a comic book store.
Yeah, exactly.
Ask a comic book nerd what he thinks of the movie.
Yeah.
That's a better overall opinion.
Like Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that. It's almost like a lot of these people that are watching these movies are not fans of going to a movie.
Well, Rotten Tomatoes, they're people who reviewed the movies like on a channel or whatever. They were like so happy to dog on BVS, and that made me sick. Like, I know it's not, it's a review. I get it. It's not like
who are you pissed off?
It's not changing the world what they do. Right. But they just took satisfaction in that, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm done.
There's movies that they've rated, 90%, 90% that I thought were dog shit.
Yeah.
And then there's movies that they rated like in the low 20s, whatever, that I thought were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We need Siskel and Ebert back. Let's get him reanimated now.
I mean,
I'm serious. I miss those guys.
Even sometimes they miss the mark. Sometimes
I know. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, they'd probably hate these new movies. But, I mean, those were the critics of the day, I thought.
It felt like you could actually trust their opinion.
Yeah.
But then again, we didn't have the movies that we do now, and it's more originality than source material. And I think what they're trying to do is is the source material true to what the movie is? And it's not always going to be.
Yeah.
Because you need to take it from an opinion of this is canon to the movie, not they're drawing from comic book material.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, Marvel Comics, they've done that with a lot of their properties, like the there's the 616 universe, there's this universe, that universe. Like each thing kind of exists in its own right.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't.
But nobody trashes on Kevin Feige. I mean, Kevin Feige's kind of the spokesperson for Marvel, and thus also
Phase 4 they kind of have though.
Well,
finally,
She-Hulk was a dud.
I think Phase 4 was supposed to be a lot more Disney Plus centric.
Yeah.
Though, and not so. They don't want to repeat the same formula they did in phases 1 through 3.
Right.
Where.
But it worked.
I mean,
it's just more reckless.
Worked,
it's not.
I mean,
the foundation's not. solid. It just feels kind of like wobbly and
Well, the question, we're all just kind of sitting in the background going, okay, so what's the end game on all this?
Yeah, like I was telling Bill, I don't know if you were here yet, but most of the Disney Plus shows, the Marvel ones for sure, they should be a miniseries. They shouldn't even be 6 episodes, because I just feel like most of the action and the richness of the stories could all be just compound down into like 3 shows that are maybe an hour long each.
Yeah, I mean they did.
I think they're just that's the problem with TV.
Some, though, like Loki needed to be as long as it was.
Yeah, and I think WandaVision needed to be too.
Did.
Yeah,
WandaVision, I was getting really nervous if that's the direction that they were going to go, and then the first 2 episodes were like, man.
I didn't, but see, I was,
and then it got good.
Right, I think I knew it was like I knew it couldn't be this for the whole show. Yeah. That's why I was like, but I did enjoy the artistry of it, I guess, because it was really a true throwback to old shows, and I dug that. I thought it was pretty good material, and so when they get into like episode 3 and on, that's what I was picturing. Like it would make that change, and things were gradually unraveling. So I know a lot of people panicked the first 2 episodes. I liked them pretty well, but I think I just luckily I was correct in thinking it's not going to be this way. They're going to hit the switch.
It needed to be the first 2 episodes released though.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if that first episode would have dropped, everybody would have been.
Oh yeah. Was it the first 2 or first 3?
First 2.
Okay.
Because
the third one changes a lot. Yeah.
The second episode was the one where the guy comes out of the sewer.
The bee suit.
And then at that point we were kind of like, okay,
right.
There's something a little deeper going on here.
We for sure.
Watching kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I get that.
We lost some good stars this week.
Yes.
Or last couple weeks, I guess you could say. Angela Lansbury.
Yep.
Murder, She Wrote.
She did one of the things I saw in there that I wasn't aware of. I mean, I kind of watched Murder, She Wrote like in the background a lot when I was a kid, but
remember it was Murder, She Wrote and Matlock.
Yeah. I always remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But she put a lot of veteran actors to work so they could gain, retirement benefits and insurance and stuff like
awesome.
that. So I think it's cool.
Multi-talented. Yeah. And Mrs. Potts too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she voiced Mrs. Potts in Beauty and the Beast. So.
Did she turn around and do it for the live action too?
No, they recast everybody. I'm pretty sure.
Did.
But she did. They did have like a nice performance of it. I think in her early 90s, and she sang it, and she was great, and she still looked fine. She made an appearance in Mary Poppins Returns as a new character, and she's going to be in the new Glass Onion, which is the Knives Out sequel.
Oh, no kidding!
Yes,
she's going to be in it.
Yeah, like I think just a small part.
Oh, that's cool.
Ryan Johnson was saying it was an honor to work with her and all that stuff. So she is. Sadly, I sometimes kind of forgot she was still alive because you just hadn't heard from her for a while, and you just figured, like all these stars. If I haven't seen them, they're probably gone. Sadly, and I just missed their passing. But
she took a graceful exit.
Yeah, I was telling Bill, I want to revisit Murder, She Wrote, because I saw it as a kid, and from all accounts, it was a good, solid show, and I think she even did a crossover with Magnum PI back in the day.
Yeah,
Jessica Fletcher.
Tattoo. That was a character on Magnum PI.
Or was it Fantasy Island?
No, I thought there was a.
Was he the plane? The plane?
No, that was definitely.
Okay, was he tattoo? That was tattoo.
I thought there was another tattoo in there.
Maybe I haven't seen Magnum PI for a while.
I was.
That's another good show.
Family Guy episode.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I ruined the joke.
No, you're fine.
I'm
gonna leave now. No. Robbie Coltrane, Scottish actor, man. Haggard, Harry Potter, Goldeneye, World's Not Enough. Played.
Totally forgot he was in Goldeneye.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that was the scene where where Mimi Driver was trying to sing Russian.
Before she was known.
Before she was known.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was so funny. He's like, my knee still aches. Oh, dude. It's a great character, and I'm glad he came back. And sadly, he died when he returned, which sucked. But it was great for him to get to Harry Potter. He just recently, the Harry Potter reunion, which I didn't catch yet. Did you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Was it pretty good?
It is, yeah.
He has a wonderful a line in there where he said Haggard will be around long after he's gone, and he almost kind of teared up. So he's been battling health issues for a while, so he didn't even look well in that. So I think he knew the end was coming, but that was pretty beautiful for him to say that, like, Haggard will always be around, and when I'm long gone and stuff. So, which is, the power of cinema and podcast.
I think it's rare for, and you see that a lot more in like franchise type movies.
Yeah.
But I think it's rare for characters to have like that staying power.
Yeah.
Where you can't Mark Hamill's always going to be Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Robbie Coltrane's always going to be Professor Hagrid. You know, you kind of get that. It's good to be able to go back and see that. And he's definitely immortalized that role.
For sure. Yeah.
So
huge loss, both of them.
Yeah.
And obviously there's ones we missed. Apologies. We don't want to make it just like an hour long episode of.
Yeah, we could literally do a podcast on people who have died recently.
Right.
It's
which is gonna be funny.
It's tough. Yeah.
It's tragic that we have to open every show with that, but
I know.
Unfortunately, it seems like
just stop dying, everybody.
When one dies, like it's a
loud.
cascade effect, and
I know. They're like, you're not gonna upstage me.
I don't want to live in a world where Betty White's not around.
Nobody does. She was almost 100.
She was the last Golden Girl, wasn't she?
Yeah,
she was.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone on that show is dead.
Can you believe that they were 50 when they did Golden Girls?
Well, yeah, I can kind of.
Everyone old in our childhood does not seem old now. Like, our generation, like you see people in their
10 years away, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Pierce Brosnan, he's in Black Adam. He's older than Roger Moore was in his last Bond movie, and Roger Moore looked like a fucking dinosaur. No offense, I love Roger Moore, but holy shit,
weird. It's weird. How
better products now too these days. Diets,
health, diets,
yeah. That's probably and genes, of course.
Somebody actually did like a modern update to the Golden Girls and like gave them hairstyles that are like of today's era.
Yeah.
And they looked way younger.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. That popcorn haadoo is.
Was it also outfit updates too? Probably
a little bit. Yeah.
God, they really could not remake
I don't know
it.
if you could reboot Golden Girls.
I think you could reboot it. Not remake, but like just you'd have to find
like their kids.
No, like just like another set of Golden Girls. Just now, like this generation, it'd be so different. I mean, I guess you could say was it Hot in Cleveland or something like that? That was kind of a Golden Girls modern take.
A little bit, yeah. It had Valerie Bertinelli.
And, What was that called?
I think you're right. Hot in Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never did see it, but I guess there has been kind of modern versions. I definitely don't want them to remake it.
No.
Or get an Orange Intel,
Yeah.
Sophia in Italy. Like, no, we don't need
We don't need prequels. That's the worst thing we can do.
No.
Although Ghostbusters did pretty well.
What,
the new one with Ivan Reitman?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think that did exceptionally well. If it's done right, I think any property can be done, can be taken seriously. But there's certain things that just like need to be put in a time capsule and just preserved.
Yeah.
And I think Golden Girls is one of those where you don't want to touch it. I think it had its moment. It had its place, and the jokes were adult themed.
Right.
And I don't think you'd be able to get away with half of the stuff that they were talking about back in the day. I mean, they brought up some very controversial stuff like abortion. They brought up rape. I think was actually one of the episodes.
Well, Norman Lear's sitcoms, man, we need those back because there's just not enough talk. Like, not to get preachy, but man, his shows like push the boundary, and we kind of gotten away from that. It's nice when they do those callback episodes with Jimmy Kimmel. Mm-hmm. He does those. Those are really cool. They recast, like they actually do an episode live and they recast the people, like, and they bring in the old actors. It's really neat. I think they could do a modern take on the Golden Girls, perhaps. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like Quantum Leap. That's out now, and that's doing pretty reasonably. Actually, it just got picked up for a full season. So as long as you're not rewriting the characters that came before, I don't care to take a crack at it. I mean, the name itself is recognition, but don't redo it.
Somebody actually posted like viewership numbers and all that stuff. And what was it? Veronica's Closet. You remember that show with Christiane?
Yeah. Yep.
That one had like 23 million viewers or something like that.
Yeah.
And the most popular show of like this era right now.
Yeah.
Right. Like how Game of Thrones. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the average viewership of that is? 19.5 million.
Wow.
It's just everybody's gone to movies or they've gone to like streaming, and it's just like nobody pays attention.
And it's on their own schedule too, so it's like,
yeah.
how do you keep track of that? You know, because the Nielsen ratings are kind of like thrown out the window.
HBO's the only one that's actually kept to like a pretty standard,
right?
You know, release every week, and
I mean, it probably explains why Netflix cancels a lot of shows. Like they have the numbers, they have to, right? So they probably know this show
I feel like
sucks.
they get this Breaking Bad theory about them, where they go like 5 seasons. Oh. We don't want to wear it out.
I'm okay for it being short and sweet, you know, rather than drown it out, you know, because you'll just lose interest in it otherwise, you know. Like Orange is the New Black ran for a while, and that kind of got tiring. Yeah, I thought the last season I did not really.
Kind of like
it was a bummer.
Big Bang Theory. Towards the end, they got a little.
They were 11 years in. Yeah, they should have wrapped that sucker up. I think they wrapped up because Jim Parsons was leaving the show. Yeah. Yeah. So had he not, man, they'd still be on.
Well,
probably.
And how do you? I mean, he was such a figurehead of that show. Yeah. I mean, it kind of revolved around him.
Right.
So then, and you know, he wanted to leave the show, which is hilarious because then he did Young Sheldon.
Well, Young Sheldon's a hit though.
Oh, Young Sheldon's
still on.
Awesome.
Yeah, he does the voiceover though. It's kind of like a Wonder Years type of.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, he can almost like record that from anywhere. He doesn't necessarily have to like be in the studio.
Right. It's his own thing. He's got a movie coming out. I don't recall what it is, but it's just hard to. It's hard to see him as any other character now, you know.
Well, he did it so well,
and that's just the way it is. But yeah, he got filthy rich off of it. They all did, so that's good for them.
Yeah.
You've heard of Uber. You've heard of Lyft. DoorDash. You've heard of it. This Halloween, everyone will have heard of Vandy. Our team of drivers have windowless vans, and we'll be looking for groups of children to give candy to. Kids should not settle for just visiting neighbors that they've known most of their lives. Kids should be able to get as much candy as possible. What better way to get it than from a stranger with a van full of candy? Our drivers are dressed in fun, evil clown outfits and have a wide range of candy. And they also have tricks. Rope, duct tape, and hacksaws for the adventurous little tykes. This Halloween, be on the lookout for Vandy.
So I figure since it's the Halloween episode, kind of throw it back to our childhood a little bit here. What was your favorite candy to get during trick or treat?
Ooh. Twofold. Obviously, Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh yeah.
And then I really liked the bite-sized Snickers.
Uh-huh.
Not the fun size, the bite size.
I was actually talking about that. Fun size was like the smaller, right?
It was
and the
like
bite size
little...
is like one peanut.
Yeah, like a little square, right?
Like a little square.
Or
yeah.
They have those still, but I don't know if they call them bite. They probably do call them bite size. Yeah,
yeah, I think so.
I don't savor those. I'm like,
no, you can't. And that's the one where you're like, oh, nice. You know, you got some candy.
Right,
like,
right, right.
You got those.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. Come on, man.
Oh, I just remember the houses that had the full size candy bars. You're like, you're awesome,
right? Yeah, we always knew where those were.
I was surprised how many like full size candy bars my daughter got last year.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm like, where were these people when I was growing up?
Right.
It's like, holy shit. I got toothbrushes and freaking Smarties.
We didn't have Sam's Club back then, so maybe a lot of people just go out and like, you know what? Once a year, let's pay $50.
I think a lot more.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think a lot more people participate.
Yeah.
I mean, there was always that scare when I was growing up, like, oh, make sure you check your kids' candy so there's
candy
not, like,
sticks.
Oh yeah,
which I didn't really care to have anyway, right?
Like inevitably, you'd always get that person that would pass around that flyer. Now make sure you check your kid's candy. If it's open, it might have drugs in it.
Shit's been tampered, but I mean, mostly it's just kind of like just fear, you know.
Yeah,
induced.
It's
right?
like if the wrapper's missing or something like that, it might be a razor blade in it. Whatever.
Yeah. Hey, if I get a package and there's a candy outside the wrapper, I don't usually eat it. I'm like, no, I don't.
No, because it's usually stale tasting anyway. Like
just give something
hard as a rock
or an onion.
There you go.
Yeah, you can buy those cheap over at Hy-Vee right now. A sack of potatoes,
99 cents, and you get 5 cents off your fuel savings.
You know,
all right.
Isn't a potato a superfood? Like you can eat
there you
those.
Go.
You don't yeah.
You can eat it raw. You can eat it cooked. You can do all kinds of stuff with it, man. It's versatile.
Yes.
And it's good for you.
Yes. Give kids potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
What was your best candy?
I liked Snickers growing up, Nestle Crunch. I remember I used to piss my dad off a lot because we'd be at the gas station, and obviously this isn't trick or treat related, but they Nestle Crunch. I don't know if they still have it, but they did the white chocolate version.
Oh yeah.
I always told my dad, like, I want to try that. He's like, you didn't like it last time, and I talked him into it. And again, I'm like, I don't like it.
Oh wait, I didn't
It's
like
like having candy corn.
It's like
You're
I told you.
You're always thinking it's going to taste different the next time around. Nope,
No.
still same shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Butterfinger was a huge favorite.
Butterfinger BBs was always my favorite when those were out.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys know that the recipe changed back in 2018? Butterfinger.
I did.
Well, now I need to try it because I never liked them growing up.
Oh well, you might like it now. They're all right, but they basically kind of taste like an off-brand. They kind of taste like a Clark's bar, which is a Butterfinger knockoff to me. But yeah, it was the company that owned a Nutella. They bought Butterfinger, Nestle Crunch, and Baby Ruth. So those all taste different now. Like
Baby
the chocolate
Ruth?
itself is different.
Oh.
Huh.
Dude, Baby Ruth was it back in the day, you know?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
still good, but I do not like
It was
their
like a
new
salted
chocolate
nut
they
roll with
use.
chocolate over the top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty damn good. Paydays are good, but those weren't around. I think when we were young, were they?
Charleston
Oh, yeah, they were.
Chew. Do you remember
Charleston
Charleston Chew?
I don't. I kind of stuck with the Mars brands. You
Yeah.
know, Milky Way, Snickers, Skittles. You know,
Yeah.
Starburst.
Oh, yeah.
Laffy
Could go
Tap.
along with that stuff.
Taffy was kind
Laffy
of
Taffy was good.
yeah.
You didn't get too many people
Yeah.
passing that out.
yeah.
Every once in a while you get
Tootsie
somebody passing
Pops.
that.
Those are
Yeah.
pretty
Tootsie
good, right?
Pops.
Yeah.
I will tell you what my least favorite one always was, aside from candy corn. Because I still, unless you're going to mix candy corn with a bowl of peanuts, it's
That isn't bad.
disgusting.
Then it becomes a salted nut roll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still one of those things like I'd never eat.
They even
Yeah.
tried to do new flavors of candy corn too, haven't they?
Yeah, they do. And it's just stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah.
So my thing was, my dad always would like to go through my candy stash when I was a kid, and he'd always pick out the good stuff, like the
Right.
Reese's, the Snickers, and all that. I'd be left with Dum Dums and frickin' Smarties, and those are the worst candies. I mean, I know why people get them, because you can get a giant bag this big
Yeah.
for like 90 cents. And just hand those out, and kids can grab handfuls of them or whatever. But if I never eat another Smarties,
You know what it's
In my
kind of like?
life.
It's like the honeydew melon of a fruit salad. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like, or cabbage in a mixed
Yeah.
bag of lettuce.
yeah,
Right.
It's just like a filler.
Right.
it's like,
cheap
what
and
is this
easy to-
there for?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Smarties Pops were good though. I thought. Remember those?
Is
Is that
so I
what-
used to get those at like the dentist office or like doctor's office or something.
I get
They're
my
like
dolls. Yeah.
They're like the ones where they were like half and half.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, those ones were pretty
And
good.
it varied. The flavors varied.
Yeah,
I remember, when my dad would bank
So-
at dolls or something, they'd have a container. I was like, oh, I want one.
so I have a candy fun fact for
Yeah.
you. Speaking of Dum Dums,
Love it.
you know how they always had the mystery flavor?
Yeah.
So what it was, so like they do their assembly line or whatever. Okay, let's do all cherry, and then the next one is going to be green apple or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can't just switch the hoses off
Yeah.
because they're all welded
Right.
in
You
there.
gotta. Yeah.
So like the mystery flavor would be the in between.
Oh, okay.
Them
That's
doing
genius.
it. So it would be
Yeah.
like squeezing out the rest of the previous flavor and then
Sure.
mixing it with the.
Don't have to dump
with
the
new
product.
Did you
flavor.
ever notice though? It always tastes like root beer, or like
Some of them always, yeah.
yeah,
But they always that was always in the process before they added the dye
yeah,
to it. So like every single one of them was always white, that like
Yep.
off white
yeah.
color. But yeah,
Oh, there's another thing that I know that we were talking about this before the show, but like words that you can't use anymore.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember when you used to go to the pop machine, the fountain pops, and you just boop 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 boop?
Oh, suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say
use
that anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Suicide Squad. There you go.
Yeah, you
I
can't.
know.
You
used to
can't
get a
say-
That's what
Suicide
we always
Squad.
called them when I was a kid
Yeah,
too.
They're called something
And-
else now. What is it called now? It's called something weird.
Fucking gross. I don't know.
Well,
It is gross.
inevitably, it take on the flavor of a couple things. Root beer, if you had root beer in the fountain pop, orange, it would always take over, which wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. Or Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper would always kill all the other flavors.
Yeah.
for me, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
never
No,
put,
that's
I
like,
never put Dr. Pepper in it.
No, yeah. But yeah, that's.
I always felt
weird.
dangerous doing that. Like, ooh.
I always did that. I did that too when Quick Trip came out with like the little flavor shots. You
Yeah.
could get like cherry and vanilla.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I remember Little League Baseball. You'd always get one ticket for a drink, and you'd go up. I'll take a suicide, and you get your drink, and that was it. I mean,
Yeah.
didn't certainly mean that back in the day.
No.
No, it really didn't.
Yeah.
No,
Hey everybody, I'm your friendly neighborhood wolf, and we are gonna mix up a wonderful holiday cocktail. Now, Mr. Wolf says the key to any good cocktail is simplicity. So what I'm gonna show you today is called the Grave Digger. It consists of 3 ingredients, and that is bourbon. For this, I'm using Wolf Moon. Why wouldn't I? A little on the nose, but it'll be good. I am using Angry Orchard hard cider, and then we're topping it off with some ginger ale. Off-brand ginger ale. Schweppes was 1 2-liter for $3. This was 3 for $3. All right, first thing we're gonna do. You got your cup? Cup. You're gonna put some ice in it. My little wolf claws getting in there. Let's do it like that. There we go. Alright, you got your cup with your ice. The next thing you're gonna do is you are going to take your bourbon and you're gonna pour that into the ice. Now, the ingredients for the Gravedigger call for 1 ounce of bourbon and 2 ounces of hard cider. That's not how wolves roll. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of bourbon and 1.5 ounces of hard cider. I probably could have just used my wolf claws, but I don't want to break a nail. Alright. Then you're going to fill it up the rest of the way with ginger ale. You can also use ginger beer, but ginger ale is a bit more timid in the flavor department, in my opinion. So you're just gonna fill that up the rest of the way, like that. There we go. And then you're gonna mix it up. I got some little stirring straws right here. Like a pro. Just stir that up. Like that. And sip and enjoy. That's good. So, like I said, the key to any good cocktail, if you're really going to make it at home, is 3 ingredients. Keep it simple. Bourbon, ginger beer or ginger ale, and hard cider. That's all you need. Perfect fall cocktail, whether it's Halloween through Thanksgiving. You can't go wrong. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to drink responsibly, and happy holidays. Big Bad Wolf out.
For 2022,
Sorry.
top 10 costumes according to Google.
Ooh.
So,
All right.
Number 1 was a witch, which makes sense. Hocus Pocus.
Yep.
You know, the Hocus Pocus 2 just came out.
Nice.
I've seen all kinds of people dressing up as like the 3 witches, the Sanderson sisters.
Yeah,
Sure.
Spider-Man is number 2. That's
Nice.
That's like all.
That's a good throwback.
They kind of lumps all the Spider-Man ones into that one category, but you know, dinosaur, those inflatable.
Oh yeah.
Those inflatable T-Rex things have been pretty popular. Stranger Things. Of course, I've seen a few Vecna costumes out there.
Nice.
The Hellfire Club shirt.
Yeah.
You can get it as Spirit for $20. Pretty cool.
Keep wearing it too.
Yeah. Fairy, which was weird.
That's a little girl.
Pirate.
Yep.
Rabbit.
Okay.
Cheerleader. Cowboy.
Okay.
And at number 10, Harley Quinn.
Harley
Really?
Quinn's still on the list.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Oh, by the way, Spirit Halloween has a costume. I don't know if you guys have seen this. The ample-breasted goth girl.
Yeah, instead of the big titty goth girl.
You
So
can't
what was
call
it like?
big
Ample? What was it like? Ample bosomed goth
Yeah.
companion,
Ample, yeah.
or something like that, instead of big titty
Has to
goth
be PC,
girlfriend.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ample.
So what?
hilarious.
Another question I have for you guys.
Yeah.
What was your favorite costume of all time that you've had?
Okay, so go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna ask, can I have 2? Does that have to be
Oh
one?
yeah, I have two. I have one from when I was a kid, and one from when I'm an adult.
Cool.
When I was an adult. So.
Okay, so I'll do the same. So when I first got married, Allie and I went on our honeymoon to Disney World. And when I was a kid, we went to Disney World and we went to go see. I've always been an Indiana Jones fan.
Sure.
And we went to the Indiana Jones thing where they do the Raiders of the Lost Ark and all that stuff.
Yep.
And I was in the gift shop, and at the time they had Indy's hat, and this thing was like $120 or whatever.
Wow.
My parents said no, absolutely not. You can't. So when I finally got married, I went and bought one. So then I went to Goodwill. I got all the stuff. I got the satchel, the whip, and all that stuff. So when I was an adult, it was Indy. Now when I was a little kid, my mom made a shark costume, great white shark. The opening was the mouth and the teeth and all that stuff, and then for the top part, it was a pillow stuffed in the top, and it was a lot of fun growing up.
It sounds hot.
Well,
as a kid, probably.
In October, though, when it's like 30 degrees at night,
right.
It was actually enjoyable.
Oh yeah, sure.
The worst costume I ever did, and it was a last minute thought, was I wanted to go as a mummy, and I didn't really think it through, and I tried to wrap myself in TP, and I got like 2 steps outside, and the damn thing just like broke apart because it was like 1-ply toilet paper. I had to go back inside and figure something out real quick. So yeah, what about you guys?
Nice. As an adult, I think the one I did last year with my daughter, I dressed up as Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh, nice.
With full, makeup, everything like that. And what was so great about it was that, I didn't want to, I'm super cheap when it comes to Halloween costumes, as you can tell. I didn't want to, they had like the Harley Quinn, like Suicide Squad girl, costume or whatever for like $60.
Oh.
And I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, I got Estella got like a skirt and a like Harley-esque kind of shirt thing to go with it. Dyed her hair, put them in the ponytails, got like fake tattoos and all that stuff. She looked amazing.
Wow.
And so we went around to some neighborhoods and stuff like that. And there were even people that were giving me extra candy because I dressed up with my daughter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. As a kid, my mom, bless her heart, she always wanted me to have what I wanted. But she's like, let's try and find a way to make it, a little more economical kind of thing. So you remember, I went as Raphael one year.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And you remember the play sets they had with like, they had the little foam weapons, and then you got like the bandana with the little turtle nose and like the elbow pads and all that stuff. So I did all that. And then she took like washcloths or like hand towels or something like that,
cool.
and like wrapped them around my arms and stuff, so I looked like all bulked out.
Nice.
It was really cool. So yeah, that's one of the greatest memories I had from being a kid. That was like probably my favorite costume.
But see, it's always more fun to do that, and you always have a better memory, and sometimes it actually turns out better than just going to like Spirit Halloween and buying a costume.
Yeah,
They're
you
ridiculous though,
right?
I mean, it's like and it's cheap material.
Oh, it's terrible.
Number one,
Yeah.
I mean, you go like this and you're going to rip out the back of it.
Right.
And they charge you $60 for it for something that your kid's never going to wear again.
Well, and if you're a big guy, it's kind of hard to find one that will fit your
one
ass.
size fits all.
You can rent, but man, those
exactly.
You rent the ones, they get really like the material's really good, but it's also really hot.
I always wanted to go to theatrical shop, just like as a segue here. I always wanted to go to theatrical shop and rent that Darth Vader costume that they always had on display.
Oh, sure.
Had like all the lights and stuff like that.
Yes, that I remember that. I wanted like the third movie. Well, you remember Austin, right?
Yeah.
So Austin went to the theatrical shop and they told him, absolutely not. You're not allowed to rent it.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Big guy or what?
Probably because he had a little bit of a reputation at the time.
He
Maybe.
had a
Oh,
ball
okay.
streak on him.
Okay, sure.
They had that ridiculously awesome looking Predator costume too.
I went to the theatrical shop one year though and went up as Ron Burgundy, which was kind of fun.
Oh, cool.
You
Fun.
could rent out like clothes and stuff from the other side.
Yeah.
And so they had the 70s outfit that I got, and I got a fake wig. And
Nice.
Yeah, they could never, because of like branding and trademarks and stuff, they could never say exactly what it was.
Right,
Like,
right.
They couldn't call it Star Trek Captain. They called it like Spaceship Captain.
Yeah.
Right.
Something like that. So
Yeah.
anyway, Josh, what was yours?
Childhood was California Raisins.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Nice.
It was just I still have it. It just went over your whole body, and then your arms would come out, and so you wore like black pants, black long shirt, and I had gloves, and it had like eye holes in it. Yeah, I love that. It actually said California Raisins on it, which now it seems silly. Like,
Yeah. Why would you put that on there?
now you would need probably that to be on there, but back then, Joey, who hasn't been on for a while, but he's been on before. He, my brother, he wore it one year, in his time in school, and no one knew who the hell he was. He said it sucked. I'm like, I know, man, but when I wore it, people knew who it was. So that was my favorite from childhood, and it's kind of childhood, but kind of getting to teenage years. Theatrical shop, when I was probably about a teenager, I would say, they had a Batman mask there, full cowl. That was like an 89 replica, not exactly like movie quality, but it was up there on that shelf, and I eyed it for a couple of times we were there, and my mom was nice enough to finally buy it for me. It was $30 at the time.
God, that's not bad.
Because I think it's still written on the back of it, but that was my best costume. She had a seamstress she knew that made me a cape. And I felt like $1 million at Halloween. Like, I remember going to my cousin's house after I went out trick-or-treating, and they were just like, oh my God, he looks so cool. And so that was like the best. And I still have the mask, and kind of fits very tight right now. But
yeah,
but it's awesome. I actually want to get like a mannequin head for it and like display it, but that was a special time. Also, I was Dick Tracy one year.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And I got the coat from Target. I remember my mom really couldn't afford it. And I need to ask her, I don't know if she remembers, but we had to take it back after I used it. And she told me at the time she rented it from them. And, my adult brain says, I don't think Target ever rented out stuff. So I'm pretty sure Mom took that thing back.
It didn't fit quite right.
Right. And my parents worked for a video distributor, so they would get some fun stuff. I wish I would have kept that hat. It wouldn't fit me now, but I actually got a black fedora from their Dick Tracy marketing. And so what I did was I took yellow paper and just put it all around my hat.
Oh, cool.
And so that's how I got my yellow hat. And
cool.
That was a fun costume. But I will say, I know we didn't go here. Worst costume I ever had. I thought it was going to be so clever. I went as Bernie Lomax. Does anybody out there know who Bernie Lomax is?
Why does that name sound so familiar?
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes.
I got the hippie glasses.
Nice.
I even got this tombstone. I wrote his name on it. I tried to do the walk, like this. No one knew who the fuck I was. It was terrible. It was a turd. It was a
nice.
Terrible. And I was trying to be so creative with it. I thought I was clever. No.
Sometimes those situational things, they just miss the mark,
Oh, this one did for sure.
Yeah.
No one knew who the hell I was. And I was just, I almost wanted to rip it off at one point. Like, fuck this.
What was it?
I don't know if I ever did one that was just like kind of thrown together like that.
But didn't work out. Like, no one knew who you were or anything. Yeah.
I had a last minute one. My dad went to Hy-Vee, and they used to have those rubber masks,
Yeah.
He bought, what was it? It was during the election, so he bought George Bush Senior mask, and that was terrible because trick-or-treating, you don't know what political...
Oh, right. Yeah. Right.
So...
Oh my God.
At least people were nicer back then. I'd just say, don't forget to vote, and they'd be like okay with it. But nowadays, I don't think you could ever do that anymore.
No.
Yeah.
It has changed.
Yes.
There was one I saw for this year. It was like online or something like that, but I thought it was hilarious, and I'm like, there's no way I would get away with having that. But it was like basically a big like rubber head of Joe Biden with like his hands on you, like
yeah.
sniffing, and it's like a shirt that says "Stop sniffing me, you twat" or something like that.
Joe Biden survivor.
I was like, oh God, that'd get you shot if you wore something like that nowadays.
Oh Jesus, that's funny. It's fine. My eldest trick-or-treated for the last time last year, so my wife and I decided to go all out. So we were, it would have actually been great this year to be it. I was Herman Munster, and she was Lily. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, even though that movie's not great, I tried watching it twice. I will finish it one of these days. That's on Netflix.
I still haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's a movie. Maybe
it's a movie.
Speaking of movies,
yes. Oh, very good segue there,
yeah,
sir.
That smooth.
Love it.
All right, smooth
yes.
like butter. DC Films' Walter Hamada
Bye-bye.
has left Warner Brothers.
Was he the dude that like screwed up a lot of stuff?
He was.
I feel like we need Joey in here to.
Yeah, there's been
straight.
been a bunch of those type of dudes. This guy was.
He wasn't the guy that was like, or was that Discovery that shit canned Batgirl?
No, that's their new CEO. He's cleaning.
Okay.
He's cleaning a house pretty much of any type of things that aren't really great, I guess, from their opinion. But this guy was. He took the place of the guy who left, who had an affair with, I forgot the guy's name. He had an affair with an actress and stuff, basically, giving her parts for other things, treats and treats. But yeah, this guy was kind of not making the best decisions. I mean, he didn't supposedly want Henry Cavill to return. So thankfully, this new regime,
Did The Rock make this happen?
Yeah, he had a lot to do with it. By all accounts.
Really?
No, not him being fired. Just the Henry Cavill thing, pushing that forward.
I was going to say, because now I have even more respect.
Oh yeah.
So
well,
we'll go with that.
It might have helped. Well, actually, you know what? It might help because, Walter Hamada. I don't think he liked the new decision making Warner Brothers was going to do, and so I think. Actually, I think it might have been after Batgirl. He was like, "I'm out." And that was the rumors. He's out, and now he's officially out. So. Goodbye. We won't miss you, but good luck screwing other things up, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't seem like he really knew he didn't really know what they had, That's the problem.
The thing with like the DC properties, like movie properties and stuff like that, I really want to get behind them, but I just really, more than anything, want them to get their shit together.
Yeah,
just be consistent.
Just go one direction and adjust. That's what Marvel had to do. Like Iron Man 2 was basically kind of it still made money, but I think that was kind of a BVS
Iron Man
thing.
2 was during the writer's strike.
That too, but it also had so much thrown at you in that movie. And Marvel, instead of like, I'm sure they did change up a few things, but they definitely didn't say, "Oh, forget this. We're gonna just cast a new Iron Man now.
That's when Favreau stepped down, though.
Yeah, he would produce and still be in some of the movies. Yeah, I think it ruined his chances to do Avengers. I think he was going to do Avengers.
But that's okay, because the Russo brothers really took great hold of that, and it ended up being all right.
For sure, yeah. So, I mean, it worked out.
It wouldn't have been as big. I don't know.
But instead of this panicking business, like, just adjust and go forward. Just the same thing with after Amazing Spider-Man bombed too, and they were like, oh, because they were going to do all these cool projects. And it's like, they just panicked and they just stopped. And it's like,
kind of like Universal and the whole monster thing.
Yeah.
One movie.
Yeah. Right. That should have been, and that was kind of that was like kind of,
God, how was Tom Cruise's acting that bad? I mean, have you ever watched that?
It's decent, but it's shockingly not.
Want to like the movie?
Yeah.
And every time he's in it, it sucks.
It had some ideas, but the problem is they put their universe before their story, basically, and it's the movie just wasn't a good enough leap into what they wanted to do. But
that's what happens when you put all your eggs in one basket,
right? And if it was like a decently budgeted movie, they probably would have been able to move forward, I imagine. But I'm sure they put so much money into that, and it's like, it's gonna fail. I mean. Yeah, you'd be lucky if it's a hit. So it turned out not to be. But yeah, Walter's gone, and we'll try to miss him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever. As long as they can, do something good with the properties, that's all I care
of course, yeah. And it seems like they are doing very good things with the
I will say this, though. I mean, I really hope that they maintain the strength they've had with the animated movies, right? Because those have always been strong. Like, those are 10 times better than what Marvel's put out,
right? For sure.
Animated wise, not live action.
Yes.
Going back to Harrison Ford, he's going to be playing General Thaddeus Ross,
right? And this was rumored like weeks ago. I just didn't want to bring it up because I was like, I don't know, this could be rumors.
Is it rumored or is it confirmed?
It's confirmed now.
Okay,
but weeks ago it was not. It was still kind of like.
I gotcha.
Circling, but yeah.
That'll be in Captain America New World Order, which is a new Captain America film.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So that'll be kind of cool to see. Hopefully we get Red Hulk.
Right. If not that, it might be in Thunderbolts, maybe, because that's also the one they announced.
I know they've been kicking that around. Like Thunderbolts, I think is going to be basically all the bad guys turned good guys characters.
At least for the movie,
films.
and then they'll change it.
I think Abomination's going to be a part of that too.
Which She-Hulk kind of set up,
U.S. Agent will be in there.
Yep.
Ghost will be in there.
And then Red...
we got
Robin.
Red Guardian.
Red Robin.
I wonder, I'm curious to see this because, David Harbour, he put on, made a comment about this last podcast when we were talking about the Santa Claus movie coming up.
Yep.
So he put on a ton of weight to play Red Guardian and Black Widow.
Yeah.
Lost a ton of weight to play Hopper.
Or Hopper,
in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Now, is he going to put on, like... Because it looks like in the Santa Claus movie he's doing, I forget the name of it.
I think that's a fat suit, though.
Yeah. I was going to say, it looks like he's using a fat suit, so maybe he'll do the same thing.
But see, with Santa Claus stuff, I mean, it doesn't take much, and you can hide behind the beard. And
Well, you hide behind the suit and everything like that. It's not...
Right.
You don't have to be particularly fat for that.
I'm wondering if we'll get like a Thor montage of him training and, I don't know.
I mean, it would make more
Of
sense.
him gaining weight.
Thins down
Just eating pancakes and stuff and ice cream.
Going to IHOP. Just give me all bacon.
Because what is it? Natasha Romanoff's daughter
It's like
or sister will be in
adopted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played by
She'll
Florence
be
Pugh. Yeah. She's great.
Yeah.
She's a rising star. So
She is. She's been in a lot of stuff.
yeah, she'll be in Thunderbolts. So I'm excited. I hope it's great. And Harrison Ford I just wasn't a fan of that casting because he is older than William Hurt was, but only by 4 years or so.
Yeah.
So it's not like a huge leap, but they have to go Red Hulk, I think. Maybe that will be the best case is, I don't know Red Hulk's whole history. I don't know if he turns back into
See, I always thought it was
human
Bruce Banner,
form.
but I don't know enough about Hulk.
Yeah.
it's a new concept that was, I don't know how old
I'm
it is.
not
but
sure, like, the whole
Thaddeus
lore
Ross
behind
becomes Red Hulk. So I guess in his...
Well, we've had so many different iterations.
there still is, yeah.
Thaddeus
Yeah.
Ross that it doesn't feel like it's going to be that tough to.
No, I think he'll do a good job.
It does suck that William Hurt's gone though, because I mean,
It does,
Right.
because I think he was a great...
I was just so
Thaddeus
happy
Ross.
when they brought him into Civil War because you honored the Incredible Hulk. Basically, they have fully
Basically,
accepted
they
that
said,
movie.
yeah.
She-Hulk definitely puts it down like, yes, this is canon.
This
even
did
though-
happen.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
Like, what? No matter how much Kevin Feige wants to pretend it didn't.
right. Yeah, that wasn't his call, baby.
Speaking of the MCU, Ironheart could see Sacha Baron Cohen playing Mephisto.
Interesting. I think he could do a good job.
I think that he's a very versatile actor. I mean, he's not just most people. I'm guilty of this too. Before I saw him in other roles, but
he gets lost into the role though, and he does it so well.
he does.
Yeah.
And you have to separate him from like playing Borat or
He was going
whatever
to
else.
be in Bohemian Rhapsody. He was going to be Freddie Mercury, and he quit.
Well, he wanted to go into a lot of the stuff that they didn't want to touch on,
Right.
Yeah.
which
was-
they briefly touched on,
Yeah.
but
Right.
that's why.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's good casting.
Yeah, I do
think so.
too.
We'll see.
I'm happy. I see more and more spots of Wakanda Forever and more Ironheart in there. So I think it's an interesting character, and if it gets us, close to having an Iron Man type of character back. I mean, I know we have War Machine, but it's been a bit.
Well, and there's rumor that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if it'd be like another universe version or
Wouldn't
like
be
an
that
AI.
hard.
It could be an AI for sure, like Jarvis was.
He has said before, though, in interviews, like
Yeah.
it has to make absolute sense
Right.
before he'll even commit
So
to
that
it.
means that it's not out of the realm.
Right.
What if he just took a prolonged vacation? I mean, now we're talking the multiverse. Now we're talking the ability for time travel. It's not out of the realm to say that they couldn't just pluck him from a period of time and bring him to current.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Bring
get
him
what he's
pre
yeah.
Endgame.
It's with this Phase 4, like some of the writing's decent, but it's not steady.
They're
Wakanda
throwing-
Forever is like a breath of fresh air out
Yeah.
of this whole new phase
I
to
don't
me.
know what to think of it yet, though. I haven't seen enough.
It looks more grander than the latest movies we've gotten, I think, and definitely the shows we've gotten. You know,
Well, that's because they've all been like miniseries.
Well, yeah, and Ryan
We
Coogler's
haven't
a big director
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
They
but I'm
also
also
have-
Black Widow and Shang-Chi. We had those come out, and they were decent, but
They
Black
also,
Widow
like,
could have been better.
Eternals.
Yeah.
the Disney Plus series that they have out there, they don't get the budget that like.
No, yeah, for
movies
sure.
get.
Yeah,
So of course, I mean, this is going to be our first, since Love and Thunder.
yeah,
This is going to be our first MCU movie, like in the new
right.
era, I guess. But
Yeah, like Ryan Coogler right now and Taika Waititi were the two directors to kind of let them do their thing, and that's probably why Thor: Love and Thunder failed to be liked as much. I liked
Yeah.
it. I do see the issues, but yeah, he pretty much did his own version of Thor. It was like a
Yeah.
Monty Python Thor movie
Yeah.
to me.
yeah, it was. I
so-
mean, there's a little bit. I miss the like getting into like the darker side of
Right,
Thor.
like the first Thor movie and the second one,
Yeah.
they had a little ground. It was more grounded, but yeah,
I mean, when he had the, I think it's in Civil War where he goes off and has the vision in the cave. Of
Avengers Ultron,
Age of Ultron, that's it.
which
Yeah.
is butchered. Like that
So,
didn't make a whole lot of
like
sense.
that's the Thor that I wanted.
Right, and that Ragnarok was dark as shit compared to
Yeah.
what we got.
Yeah.
Very different. Yeah. No, I get it.
I don't
though.
know.
I hope
I
he
think
comes back,
that-
but do it right. Yeah,
I
get
think
it.
that Phase 4 is like their filler.
Yeah,
Phase
it's kind
5.
of
It's like throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
right. It's
Well,
it's
and
their
if that's the case, then good on them though, because they're not trying to just stick with what works.
We're not trying to reinvent the wheel with like what they did with Avengers,
Right,
Which is
so
good.
So
Right.
why not throw some new characters in there? I mean, it's becoming dangerously close to what we did with Daredevil.
Yeah.
and that whole mashup.
right.
Yeah.
But I think it's successful enough so far that you can incorporate him back in. I think Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was a good movie.
Yeah,
I think it was good enough to say, okay, we can take some more crap before we get another good movie again.
yeah,
Yeah.
But then, now we can go back to maybe some solid stuff again.
right.
Now that we've kind of introduced some of these characters, I hope that we get more Moon Knight.
Yeah. Yeah.
The series was okay, but
Yeah.
the whole character itself is awesome. She-Hulk, I don't know what to do with that.
Have you seen all of it?
No,
Oh.
I can't.
Have you watched any of it?
Bits and pieces.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't get over the fact that they were twerking in an episode.
Yeah, that's probably one of those low
It's-
points.
It's
feels
silly,
like
but
they're
that's
trying to
like how
pander.
that's kind of how the comic goes. Like the
You're
comic
right.
doesn't take itself too seriously.
That's true.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
But
Then maybe I need to look more at the source material.
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's at the same time we've always like when a new series or a new movie or new player in the game has come out, it's like how's this going to work fitting into the grander scheme of things? And you have to
Right.
realize, like, just like there are with books and music and movies, there's different genres of
Yeah.
Marvel comics. It's not all villain of the week,
Yeah.
beat up the bad guy kind of stuff.
Right, right.
There is some silly stuff out there. There's some spooky stuff out there. There's
right.
sci-fi type stuff. I mean,
But I think with movies it stinks because you have a definitive ending, but with comic books they just kind of get caught. And then the next series that comes out, they're still there. When you introduce movies, it becomes more final, which becomes tougher, I think.
Yeah,
yeah, and that's the thing
different
that I've
medium.
kind of
Yeah.
haven't liked about the MCU up to this point is that like they have to have that final resolution with the
yeah.
But what
with
works
the
with Loki is that he always gets caught, and then
Yeah, and then he's
escapes.
back.
Right, and that's why we like Loki so much.
Right.
yeah
That's why he works.
That's probably why they did that. How they did it in Infinity War, right? Or wait. Oh no, it was both those movies. Infinity War, he gets killed for sure. You
Right.
think, right? I mean, pretty much. And then Endgame, his past self escapes. So yeah, they have that
Creates
payoff
the
still.
variant.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I think this is kind of like they're on on a high, right? And then this is them kind of getting their ass kicked a little bit, and then they have to like Rocky, get Eye of the
They're-
Tiger back and
how do we-
run on the
there
beach.
has to be that when you're on a roller coaster, there has to be that dip before
Yeah.
you climb back up and
Right,
make it thrilling
right.
again.
But
And I
the,
think
tried,
that's where we're at
you
right
tried
now.
new things.
Yeah.
This is what worked. This is what didn't. stay on because Feige will step down eventually because I think his contract will be up. And,
That's what concerns me is like, do they have a person in place that's already starting to take over?
Yeah, well, maybe.
And I would figurehead right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Choose wisely.
I would think that puts them in a dangerous position because, Feige's contract's coming up. Stan Lee's gone.
Yeah.
Who's going to be there to really say like, okay, guys, stick to the plan here. We're, don't just go off the rails and call it MCU when it's really not.
Yeah. Exactly.
Getting back into the WB side of things, Matt Reeves is planning several Batman villain spinoffs.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in it. Yeah,
I have a little more faith in this than I do in like the Sony Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, so far
spin-offs.
Not too great.
Especially because
I guess they only had one movie to try, but
especially because Matt Reeves wants this Batman to be like his own separate thing.
Right,
He's not
his own
gonna
universe.
interact with Henry Cavill or anything like that.
Right.
It's a little more grounded in like gritty reality.
Yep.
So some of the spin-offs are working on so far. The Penguin, of course, has already been confirmed. He wants to work with Scarecrow, Clayface, and Professor Pig. Which Professor Pig, I think, would fit into this universe perfectly. I've always kind of thought like he'd be the next logical step to go if you're going with.
Who is he? No, I don't know that character.
He's basically like a serial killer kind of guy, but he like carves people up and all that. Like he's kind of like a jigsaw.
Oh,
guy.
Okay, yeah.
So that would be like the next logical step for me after the Unabomber Riddler or whatever. He also wants to include. He wanted originally to include Mr. Freeze.
Oh man, I love Mr. Freeze,
and I think that the Cold Heart series.
Mr. Freeze is
going to
take some time to figure out how they're going to do it right.
It is going to take some time to figure out. Like you don't have to. He's one that's great because it's scientifically based,
right? And it's
not like
it's a dark story. I mean, it's not supposed to mean like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The Mr. Freeze we need has already been shown, and they need to do that. Like Heart of Ice. That's Mr. Freeze to me.
Yeah, that's what
Heart of Ice.
That was the.
But with Reeves, it's like. Will he go kind of the supernatural? Like, will Victor really have this, this condition?
I think you need to keep to the raw, gritty storyline of like a doctor that, is trying to save his wife.
Yeah.
There's a lab accident or something like that.
Like maybe he was born with a disease where he's always cold or always hot. Some shit. I don't know. That's me, really.
You need to go ridiculous with like a big suit and like a giant ray gun kind of thing.
I don't know.
The Riddler though is that it was raw and that it didn't take like a big storyline. It just took a guy that was mentally ill and just twisted it.
Well, and if he doesn't really want to give us that Mr. Freeze, then I would save it for the other people who are more in line with the the Flash movies, the current DCEU. Let them play with Mr. Freeze because Reeves might not want to touch that, and I don't want him changing Mr. Freeze too much.
That's where you
the Heart of Ice one I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's where you can do like Captain Cold and some of those more like ridiculous villains.
Yeah.
You'd never be able to do Clayface in a movie.
Oh, I think you could. You don't think so?
No.
I mean, I don't know. I'd love to see what his take on Clayface would be.
Actually, it would be amazing, but it would be so freaking tough because he's a shapeshifter, number one. He's a guy that was an actor. I mean, that part wouldn't be tough, right?
Yeah.
But he gets into this molding clay, and it just like takes over his entire body.
The transformation part would be tough.
That would be next to impossible.
But there's a lot of great shit there. Like, the actor, he got disfigured. And then, he's like this abomination. And like, there's that actually, that Clayface story was almost like Heart of Ice quality. Like, it was up there. Like,
he was a very tragic.
Right.
Gun,
right. For sure. But like him transforming would have to be probably adjusted a little bit. But
I think it'd be easier.
Effects wise, they could do it. I was meaning like with the clay and shit. Like, oh, that'd be so fucking cool.
That would probably be something he could do like a couple movies in, get his feet wet with Scarecrow and like Professor Pig, ones that are a little more grounded in like
reality sort of. Yeah, I think that's probably his best. That's what he should stick with and you
can't go like Jon Favreau famously said when he was working on Iron Man. You can't show Emperor Palpatine in the first movie,
right?
Like you have to build up to it,
right? Yeah, I would save all those fantastical characters for the DCEU because definitely just from seeing Black Adam, they've got characters in there that are, they can do all kinds of crazy shit, and it's definitely out of the realm of Matt Reeves right now. If he wants to stick with that realistic stuff, then I think, some characters should be off limit, I think, unless he has a cool spin on them, I guess
Well, and the
you could
question
say.
is, how far in do you go before you introduce the Joker?
Well, they were actually, they did.
They wanted to
They touched on it.
flesh him out a lot more, and
They did
Matt
too
Reeves
much.
said no.
I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't think they needed that. The voice would be enough if you
Yeah.
want to go that far, but I need to see his face. And they released that clip of the interrogation, which
not bad.
it's not bad,
No.
but they wanted to put it in there, and I just felt like
I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah,
I'm glad
I just
they
wanted a
didn't.
movie without Joker
Yeah.
for once. You know what I mean? It just felt like every
Why did it
fucking
feel like
movie
a
was-
darker, like SVU series? Like it felt.
That's what I liked about it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they had that.
Well,
like,
the Joker's
detective-
teeth are all fucked up. Like
Right.
it's like he got curb checked. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's really
I mean,
bad.
They kind of added in that like more detective
Yeah,
story.
which is
of
about
Batman.
time. That's what we always
Yeah.
wanted.
He didn't need the famous gadgets. He didn't need all
No.
this fancy
Yeah.
stuff. He just needed to be raw and gritty, and that's what people have been pining for a long time.
Again, all creative types with Batman pull from the animated series. Like he even disguised himself. Remember, he dressed up like a hobo, and he dressed up like a some other type of guy with
You know what would be amazing though is if they had Hardak. Remember Hardak from the animated
Oh,
series?
yeah.
that would be amazing story.
That would be cool.
That'd be so tough to do though. Remember they created like an alternative Batman that's all robot?
so cool though.
Yeah.
That'd have to be a trilogy.
Oh yeah, you'd have to build into it.
I think it was kind of a trilogy in the show, not
It
all
was.
It was like
together,
a
but
two-
they had
yeah.
like separate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I forgot
Some
about
of those-
Hardak. That was kind of like a Terminator type of take
It was.
on him,
And the
but
crazy thing is that the whole animated series actually didn't get canceled. They just ran out of stuff to write.
yeah. Well, and they kept changing too,
Yeah.
like the Batman and Robin
Like
adventures
Batman,
and
Robin,
shit, and then
and the-
Batman Superman adventures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman Beyond. No, that's fantastic. I'm excited for him to. I definitely can't wait for the Penguin. I
Poison
think.
Ivy would be easy to do as the next step.
Yeah. See, I liked so the Batman Unburied podcast. They did the kind of serial thing they did on Spotify. They did like a really interesting way to introduce Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Instead of her just being like falling into a vat of acid or this or
just
that.
The botanist.
It was like
Yeah.
her father like experimented on her, trying to make a kid who was trying to like basically find a way to boost somebody's immune system, and basically ended up making it so like her her kiss kills people or like
Right.
her
It would
touch
be
kills
very
people.
doable. I mean, there's a lot of genetic mutations and
Right.
stuff like that. It wouldn't be that tough.
Because she wasn't
produce.
supernatural, at least in
doesn't
the
have-
beginning in
yeah.
Batman, the animated series, she was not supernatural. She had to put the venom on her lips to kiss people, but then she gradually had that green skin change, and she was,
Like, you don't need her like showing up being able to control vines and shit like that, but
No.
right.
like she doesn't like the comics or
Yeah.
she got like a little more connected to the green and
Right. I
became,
mean, you
like,
could
more
swamp
of a-
thing her a little bit, so that's, I mean, not like look-wise, but her power-wise, you could, but I don't know with...
Would you introduce Harley Quinn into the whole Matt Reeves Batman series?
I don't think we need to. Honestly,
it's
I mean they've done it with the DCEU with like the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
They're doing it with the Joker standalone.
Yep.
With Folie à Deux.
Yep.
Or whatever they call it.
Is that what Lady Gaga's going to be?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
I don't think
great.
Harley Quinn's been so oversaturated
Lately. Yeah.
like lately. Yeah. I think you can hold off on that for a little bit. You have to really establish the Joker's character first.
Yeah.
And then like maybe have him get out, maybe have him get caught, and then he goes to see Harleen Quinzel,
Yeah. At the Arkham
to be
Asylum.
to be his therapist or whatever, and then
Well, shit, Mad Love could be like a little movie itself, almost. I mean, they'll
could,
probably tackle that with the Todd Phillips one, I imagine.
I'm
maybe.
sure they
Probably.
will. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like showing Uncle Ben dying again,
Right.
or showing the Waynes dying again. You
Yeah.
don't need to like go back to it so much. I mean, find a different way to do it. But
Could we somehow find a way? And I know this is really like off the wall. Find the guy who did the Dahmer series on Netflix and find a way to incorporate him as a bad guy into the Batman. I don't know what character he could play.
Oh, the actor you're talking about, Evan Peters.
Yes,
Yeah.
my God, he dove in so freaking hard.
Yeah, I haven't even finished Dahmer, but yeah, he's great.
Oh God,
he's great.
Play.
Oh.
I'm gonna be fan casting him. So yeah, he would make a good Scarecrow.
He would.
He could, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, possibilities are endless for him.
It's confirmed.
Really. Yeah, who could you get?
Or his agents.
Two-Face?
Yeah, I don't know. He's a little too young-faced to
Need
to
more
be
chiseled.
Harvey
looks.
Dent, I think. Yeah,
Josh Brolin would be
Josh
good
Brolin would be a
Two-Face,
good,
but he's kind of too old now. He could be for Ben Affleck. He could be Two-Face, but I don't think for Robert Pattinson, because Bruce and Harvey are kind of the same age.
The quality of actor though for Batman, and you don't want the guy who's coming in to be the bad guy to overshadow the acting abilities.
Yeah.
So I think a guy like Brolin coming in would be overshadowing Ben Affleck.
Oh, you think he'd overshadow Ben?
Oh heavens, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see him doing it.
I agree that he would
Pattinson.
I agree he would overshadow Affleck.
It
I
was
100%
like,
agree.
It was like when they put Christian Bale in the new Thor movie. Like,
oh yeah.
You know, he wanted to do extra scenes and all that stuff, and they're like, no, it's too dark. But that's the character. He read, he studied, he learned, and it's just like
he saved that movie. I think
you way overhired, or you way over.
Right.
It's like hiring a CEO to do like a call center.
Yeah.
Entry level position.
Right.
You just don't do that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what that was.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Exorcist is getting a new trilogy by Halloween 2018's David Gordon Green. He wrote that Halloween series which just ended. Halloween Ends. We have a review out there. Check it out. It's on Peacock now and in the theaters. He co-wrote that with Danny McBride. So I think that same creative team, along with Blumhouse, which is very smart with their movie making, they have a cheap budget and they end up making a lot more back. So I think that's how they're able to just set out and do these trilogy films. But
The Exorcist needs to be gritty and not CGI heavy.
I don't think it will be, because Blumhouse is pretty.
Blumhouse is very low budget.
Yeah.
Is he? Okay.
Because if you do the CG, it's going to look like shit.
It needs to be like a Matt Reeves Batman type.
Yeah.
Thing.
Well, have you seen the new Halloween ones at all? I think that if you see that, that'll give you an idea of what they're going to do, because it's very practical. Okay. I would say. All right.
I just love what Blumhouse does. Yeah. I mean, they a lot of their stuff seems very B-movie-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, just looking at the trailers, but like it's really good production value. Like they suck you in with the stories.
Right.
I think they're probably the best ones I would choose to do. Exorcist.
Yeah. And like they brought Jamie Lee Curtis back for Halloween, and she played Laurie Strode. They're bringing back Ellen Burstyn to play Chris McNeil, who was the mother to Reagan in the original Exorcist film. The Exorcist, it was a big franchise itself. Probably didn't end as popular as it began. I would say that's an easy.
Say they made way too many sequels of that.
Oh yeah, well yeah. The first one was made in '73, which is still a classic, still holds up. The Exorcist 2, the Heretic, that came out in '77. I don't think it beat Star Wars in the box office that year. Exorcist 3 came out in 1990,
which is one of the movies that Jeffrey Dahmer showed to his victims.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that's right. Exorcist: The Beginning came out in 2004. That had one of the Skarsgård. What's his name? He was in Thor. You know what I'm talking about? He's in Andor right now.
Stellan Skarsgård?
I think so. The father. Yeah. He was in that. He played the priest as a younger man, and I guess they released an alternate version called Dominion in 2005. So it was like a director's cut, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. Ellen Burstyn's up there in age, so I don't know. I hope they're not going to try and repeat the Laurie Strode shit with her. Like they probably will a little bit. That's kind of the thing now. Like take an old final girl or whatever. Even though Exorcist didn't really have a final girl as the mom, and they've been traumatized this whole time, and now they're fighting back some bullshit. The latest Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie tried to do that same thing, and it failed. I mean, the movie just probably was shit itself, but anyway,
it works for a series like Halloween. It doesn't work for a series like The Exorcist,
right? So because you don't have Linda Blair in it, so it's like, how do you? Maybe her character died.
Like how do I say that? The person who received the exorcism in the first one is now the priest and has to do the exorcism.
Oh, that would be cool. There you go.
like, oh, I've had experience with this demon before.
Little
they want a piece
twist.
of me.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, yeah, but it's just kind of odd. Like, I assume they're going to ignore everything after Exorcist. That's what the Halloween trilogy did, the new one. They ignored everything after the original Halloween film.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm assuming. But
it's one of those. It's kind of like when they tried to do a sequel to American Psycho.
yeah,
Like, you don't need a sequel to it,
right.
No.
kind of thing. Like, make each one a standalone.
Mila Kunis was in that.
Well, that wasn't even supposed to be a sequel to American Psycho, and then they turned it into one to get it more
right, and then we
publicity.
talked about that with Cloverfield. All the
Yeah.
sequels of Cloverfield were actually not written for the Cloverfield
Oh, was it?
character. It was it was
it was
other
just like,
scripts,
how do we
spec
get
scripts
this-
or whatever.
How do we
and-
get this out there from a marketing standpoint?
Yeah.
Let's name it Cloverfield.
Gotcha.
Be like, we were joking about this because, they have Mad Libs have like adjectives, nouns, verbs, stuff like that, and we're all sitting here like, God, we did that bad in English class.
I had to Google what it is.
We all had to look up what an adjective
Yeah.
was.
yeah,
So anyway, this will be just like passing your homework to
Yeah.
your peers to have
All right.
somebody else.
and we're gonna
evaluate
keep
for
it.
you.
We're gonna make it serious as possible. I don't mind us cracking up, but in post, I'm gonna put some nice music with it. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
make it like.
Yeah. So this is Bill's movie Mad Libs Hocus Pocus.
Max and his little sister Estella had just moved into a new house in Waterloo. On his first day of school, he heard a hilarious story about 3 zombies, but he didn't believe it. Later that night, while spelunking, the pair came upon a horny goat. Inside was an old spatula, and even though he knew the tale, he... What is it, yanked it away. See, I can't even read. The 3 zombies came back to life, but they couldn't get their ecto-cooler before sunrise, or they would perish. Max and Estella outsmarted the zombies by hiding in a McDonald's. They were safe. The end. That's a good story.
Very good. Great. Idea for Hocus Pocus 3?
Yeah. Estella.
Yeah, for sure. Well, speaking of Ecto Cooler,
Yeah.
Yeah,
want to jump to this real quick, and then I'll read mine.
right.
So this is Bill made this, or some other guy that looks like Bill.
Some other guy looks very much like me.
Yes,
It's a little drippy right now.
yes.
So is that the recipe that you found online
This
for
is
Ecto Cooler?
yes,
Okay.
and
God, it looks just like it too.
well, I did accidentally put a little bit too much food coloring in it.
Oh, that's all right.
I use this powdered food coloring, and my mom even warned me. She's like, "A little bit goes a long way." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, mom."
Yeah, but you know what? I can't wait to see what color my pee turns.
Oh, you remember when when was it Monster or Rockstar first came out?
Oh
It
yeah.
would like turn your pee like radioactive green.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
Well, let's sample this,
Cheers,
and then
guys.
we'll show you how it was made.
Well, that is good.
That was good.
that was good.
What is that? What's the flavor? Is it tangerine or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is, and you can make it too.
Hello, nerds. Welcome to Dr. Creston's lab. I'm not a real doctor, but we won't tell the FDA that. We're going to be making some Ecto Cooler today. And of course, we have our scientific Walmart jug, $3.99. No, well, it might be a toxic one. Who knows? Whatever. All right. To make this Ecto Cooler, we have another scientific beaker here, filled with sugar, lemonade mix, orange Kool-Aid, and yeah, I think that's about all that's in there. I don't know. Anyway, in it goes. Next, we have 3/4 cup tangerine juice and orange juice. We're just gonna go ahead and pour that right in there. Ah, yes, beautiful. And of course, our secret ingredient, ethically sourced. Don't worry about it. Mwah. And we'll just pour it in there. Oh my. Yes. So much tastier than Ezra Miller's tears. Oh dear. Okay. Now, this looks very orange, which is not going to work for our ecto cooler. So, yes, that's good stuff. Okay, put a little of that, and that should do it. Right. We'll take our trusty spoon, and maybe a little too much cream. Whatever. We're just gonna stir this up. And looks good, doesn't it? Oh yes. Let's give it a little taste, shall we? Haha, that looks great. Just like Mom used to make. All right, now that I'm done with this, time for me to go back to my day job. See you later. Here you go. Ah, Mario, love it. Enjoy the new movie.
Yeah, because I'm going to steal that. That's good stuff.
That is good. It's very good.
And if you don't add as much water into it and mix it with tequila, you can make it a mixer.
No, that's something.
Yeah.
And it's aged 2 weeks.
Yeah. Aged like a fine high C.
High C wine, yes.
Boy, that's good. Why don't they just make it and then just call it something else for a little while? And
They had
That's
it come
the
out
thing.
in 2015.
That's the thing, is
Yeah.
that they
Bought a
have...
shit ton of it.
The high C has all the stuff to do it.
Yeah.
They just don't have the licensing.
oh,
rights
so why
to
don't
do
they
it.
just call it something different?
So what they could do is
It
just
actually
not
originally
diet-
was called something different, I
Yeah.
thought, and
Yeah.
then they changed
They
it.
could just not diet green.
Right.
Yeah.
That's going to
And-
mess with
and
people's
just-
heads, though.
Yeah.
Well, and they actually did have limited ones where you had to like go to a big event of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
What was it called? Ghostbusters, the last one.
Afterlife.
Jesus, I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, Afterlife. So if you went to like these big premieres,
Yeah.
you could get like these cans.
Well, remember when the new Coke, for a limited time, they came out
Yep.
with those?
Yeah.
I thought that was almost better than regular Coke.
Did you?
Yeah, I
it wasn't
did.
bad. I actually
I know,
sampled
right?
that. We sampled that on the Super Unknown podcast. So, and maybe we did on this show. I can't
I think we
remember.
did. Yeah.
But
One dark, dusty night. No stars in sight. Thunder roared a faint hello. Lightning flashed the trees below. The sound of a mongoose could be heard in the distance. I'm not allowed to laugh.
Sorry. He can, no, he can laugh.
Oh, it was Halloween night. I was dressed as a bunny. That's one of our top 10s. My bag was beside me filled with Italian hot dogs that I couldn't wait to eat. As I stepped the driveway of a house to trick or treat, I wonder what type of cow I will get. I ring the doorbell with gently. That's not okay.
I screwed up.
It opens and a beautiful man wearing a fedora looks at me. I scream, trick or treat, smell my weed.
That turned out better than I thought.
Well,
I had Bill help me, but I screwed up one of them, didn't I? What did I screw up?
you screwed up the adverb, but
What?
whatever.
Oh,
It's
what
okay.
should have been?
I don't
God damn it. We went to Valley High
That's
School.
all good.
Valley High School.
know. I hope none of my English teachers from Valley are watching this.
They're big fans.
Is there something you'd like to tell us there, John?
Obviously, I did
Smell my
not smell my weed.
I couldn't think of anything else to say.
It's better.
I don't like cocaine. I just love the way it smells. So, in gaming news, Grand Theft Auto Online just recently released their Halloween update. There are, I think, usually every week they release something a little bit different. There's some horror movie themed masks you can get, like Wolfman, Frankenstein, vampires, things like that. They have a scavenger hunt that resets every day. Where you
fun.
can find there's like I think 200 little jack-o'-lantern things you can find across the map.
Oh, wow.
You collect 10 of them, you get like a jack-o'-lantern head. I think if you get all 200, you get a goofy-looking t-shirt or something like that. I'm going to have a video going out here in the next probably 24 hours showing some of the GTA Halloween stuff, so it'll be kind of fun. But yeah, if you need something to do on a...
Looks fun. Yeah. Do we know...
do on a Sunday? Go for it, man.
Now, I do have PS4. Yes, of course. So I could probably get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you tried this out before? Because it's an annual thing, is that right?
No, this is a little different from what I think they did last year.
Okay.
I can't remember what they did last year, but there is a his name escapes me at the moment, but there is, if you look it up on YouTube, you can find like a walkthrough thing of where this is. It just resets every day, so you can't like collect 50 today and then 50 tomorrow and get up to 100 obviously. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Each one you collect, so it's a trick or treat theme kind of thing. So either you will get like money, snacks, health, ammo, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you'll just spontaneously blow the fuck up. So it's pretty fun.
Oh my God, that's funny.
It is fun though, because every so often there's peyote plants you can find in the game.
Yeah.
That like make you hallucinate that you're an animal. And every once in a while you'll pick up one of these things, you'll turn into like a poodle that can kill people.
That's awesome.
It's pretty fun. So yeah, there's check it out I'm going to have a little bit of a video on my channel, so
great.
Billy
515 Gaming, right?
No,
it's
Billy
changed.
Creston Gaming now.
Nice.
Yes, 515 Gaming is no more, sadly.
Yeah.
You could
Sorry,
say
we had to
formerly
read-
515
formerly
Gaming.
known
That way
as
you can use
515.
Steve
Yeah.
still.
Formerly
515 Gaming.
Formerly, yeah.
Yes. Love it. Yeah, that looks fun. I'll have to check that out.
Good times. A lot of big news came out for Silent Hill. So we are getting a new Silent Hill movie, directed by the same guy that did the 2006 film, which I'm not video game movies are hit or miss.
Yeah.
The original Silent Hill movie, probably one of my favorite video game adaptations
It's done
I've ever
well.
seen. It's pretty done well. This is going to be based off of the Silent Hill 2 game.
Oh.
It's going to have nothing to do with the previous two movies that came out. So he wants it to have more of a heavy focus on psychological horror, be pretty much ripped straight from the game kind of thing. So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
With that, they are remaking Silent Hill 2 for the PlayStation 5.
Oh, wow.
And then they are coming out with a whole new game, which is going to be kind of like almost like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. Like
fun.
there's a series of games out there by Supermassive, like Until Dawn was a big one a while back. It's like where you're faced with a choice, and like it might kill one of your friends, it might kill somebody else, it might affect you way later on down the thing. But there's no like reset button to it. So like if you make a choice and screw up, you're screwed.
Wow.
Like
That's
it's kind of
crazy.
we're kind of stuck with it. So it's called Silent Hill Ascension, and it's due out in 2023.
Nice.
As well as this new movie. It could be out as soon as next year.
Oh, great.
So very cool. Looking forward to that.
Sweet.
So recently I checked out Monsterama Arcade here in Des Moines. It's located on Southwest 9th Street, over on the south side there. Very cool arcade. You basically pay a flat fee at the door, and everything's on free play, so you can pump as many credits into
for
it as you
real?
want.
Oh, I love
cool.
that.
So it's pretty cool. They've got all the classic arcade games down there, Mortal Kombat, which my daughter surprisingly kicked my ass in.
Wow.
Never touched a fighting game before in her life, and she beat the crap out of me.
Did she
in it.
finish you?
That's crazy.
But they've got like the X-Men, the Simpsons, Ninja Turtles. We've got some of the shoot 'em up stuff like House of the Dead.
Yeah.
Very
Virtual Cop. Was that one of them? Virtual Cop?
Virtual
back in the
Cop
day?
is one of them.
Okay.
I don't think they have that one. They do have a lot of pinball machines though.
Oh,
And
cool.
So a lot of really cool pinball machines. They had like a Mandalorian one, which was really cool.
Oh wow! So they got newer. Well,
oh, yeah.
Pinball is
New and old.
yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. They've got food and drinks and stuff like that too, if you want to just hang out and grab a bite to eat. But very cool, very worth looking into.
And the decor is really neat too, right?
Yeah. So a lot of horror themed kind of stuff. They have like a life size Pennywise down in the basement.
Shit.
They've got like a Freddy Krueger coming out of the wall. Very cool. Like I don't want to give away too much of it because I want you all to really go and like check it out yourselves. But when you first walk in there, it looks like just like kind of a dive restaurant kind of thing. There's a giant like Coke machine, like old style Coke vending machine thing on the wall.
Sweet.
And you open it up, and that's like the path to go downstairs. Into
Oh my god, dude! Oh, it's like some Murphy door kind of type. Oh.
So that's very cool. Go check that out and give them support. So,
does it actually function, the machine?
I don't think it does.
Just lights up, probably.
Yeah, probably. I didn't look at it.
Hey, still cool, but I think better you get a Coke and then you open it up and go down.
Easy.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what it reminds me of. It's like it's a little underground kind of thing.
That's cool.
Very cool.
The Nerd Mafia.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see here. As far as recommendations, too. What is that? Barnhouse Brewery. I know we were just talking about Ecto Cooler, but they just came out with their specialty Ecto Cooler beer. You can go down there. You don't have to eat. You can pick up a 4-pack. It is a little expensive.
Yeah.
Since it is a limited release, it's I think they said $17.99 for a 4-pack. So I know it's breaking the bank a little bit, but it is good.
Yeah. Good.
Go out and try it. The other one, and I know that the ladies will probably like this. Taylor Swift dropped a new album. What was that, Friday night or something like that?
Really?
Yeah.
Anti-Hero?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Don't know the outcome yet, but from what I'm hearing, I've heard it's a solid 8 ex-boyfriends out of 10.
I was gonna say, has she been dating anybody recently?
Well, that's why she was away for so long. She had to date many people to get more material. So
we need to get her hooked up with Ezra Miller. Ooh, that would be a fire album.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
He'd probably duet with her on a few of those tracks.
Probably sing with his butthole or something stupid like that. I had to do it right while you were taking a drink too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. No, that's cool. Yeah. And of course, every streaming service you have out there, there's some good Halloween content. So
yeah.
definitely check that out. And quick plugs real quick. Nexus 6 here. Yep. Most of this is Iowa based. Sorry, everyone out there is not from Iowa, but you could probably order from some of these places. The brewery. Yeah. The arcades won't come to you. Sorry.
No.
Or Nexus 6. Well, Nexus 6 will. They will come to you if you have any marketing needs. They
are quite the company.
Yes, they think outside the box and are also award winning, and they've helped us out quite a bit recently with a few things. So huge shout out to them. Steve's Comic Blog. If you need some good reading material about takes on comics and comic related material, definitely check out Steve's Comic Blog. And of course,
Billy Cruston Gaming. I can't do it nearly as well as Steve. Sorry. Not quite the reaction.
Formerly 515 Gaming.
Yeah, no, formerly 515 Gaming. Of course, we're on YouTube, Facebook.com/Billy Cruston Gaming. And
you got
some GTA content coming out here in the next couple days.
Yeah.
As well as some Halloween you're working on too?
Yeah. So I did put some of the Halloween GTA footage in this. Just doing some fine tuning and some rendering on it. So should be good to go. Probably here in the next couple days.
Excellent.
So
fun to watch.
Yes.
Got some of that coming up. We got a music video, a couple other things we're working on right now. So just keep an eye on the channel.
Busy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Busy man. Of course, Field of Geeks. Check us out everywhere you find your podcast. Obviously, YouTube here. We have a Facebook page, Twitter, all that good stuff. Say hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Raven Xavier. He's the one who came up with our absolutely kick-ass theme
Yes.
for this podcast.
Yes.
Also, you want to check him out at ravexmusic.bandcamp.com. He is also on YouTube at ravexmusic. He's got tracks on there he comes out with periodically, some podcasts.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. And if you get a chance, check him out, and also check out Choose Your Power, who is Raven Xavier's band.
Awesome.
Yes.
Very cool.
They need to come and do a tour here in Iowa so we can go see them and review it. But
we do a
if
live
you're in
show and
the,
you can actually perform the song.
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
That would be crazy.
But yeah, if you're in the Massachusetts area, go check them out. And as always, thank you, Raven, for putting together our theme.
Yes. Cheers to you and everyone out there watching. Have a great, happy Halloween. Right?
Yes. I just realized you could green screen this to make it look like I'm drinking anything.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, you
There we
could.
go.
That'd be fun.
Put some eyeballs in there.
Now it's beer. Now it's milk. Now it's water. Now it's Ecto Cooler. Just kidding.
Well, with that said, I'm Josh.
I'm Bill.
I'm Mitch.
Take care.
Don't forget to pick up your Superman candy sticks.
Yes.
Yes. Candy sticks. Candy sticks.
Candy sticks.
Air quotes.
Look at me, just as all the others. Now that I have